My name is Trevor Duke. I'm a property manager at the Thomas Duke Company. KODE Labs have been doing a lot of HVAC integrations. We had a Niagara-based BMS platform, building management system, and KODE Labs came in. They've essentially sucked in all of our data. Now we use them exclusively as our front end for us monitoring what the buildings are doing, what the tenant spaces are doing, and we've even provided access to tenants so they can easily understand what's happening in their space. The retro commissioning process was the easiest thing I've ever done with a utility company. Typically, there's rebate forms and triplicate and wait for this and approved for this, pre-register for this, come to this seminar and do this. It was extremely easy with the retro commissioning. I think we had one signature saying, yes, we want to do this. KODE Labs was able to provide the operating history of the building, what the building was doing, again, what the set points, how we had been running it. They took that, they provided it to Energy Sciences. We also had Decal, our mechanical contractor, gave them some info, just clarifying maybe why we had these set points and how the building had been running. From there, Energy Sciences took everything. They modeled what our past operations were doing. They compared that with our past utility bills to see what the energy, how that was roughly allocated. And from there, they modeled a better way to run the building. We put in those parameters. We've committed to running those parameters for the next 2 years, and the savings are more than we've expected.
My name is Diana Nash, and I'm a Senior Client Solutions Consultant with Energy Sciences, and we are an energy consulting firm. We're an implementation contractor, and so part of our role as an implementation contractor is to introduce utility programs where customers can leverage cost, and they can get free studies, and they can get some of the implementation paid for by the utilities. We work with a lot of customers in a variety of vertical markets, and our primary role is to help reduce energy and also optimize efficiency, reduce operating costs, and also looking at tenant comfort and optimizing systems. For this particular program, customers are eligible every 2 years, and for buildings that qualify for the program based on certain criteria. And we find that almost every commercial building on the planet and industrial building should look at doing retro commissioning of their building controls every couple of years, because a lot of different people get involved with making changes to the system. They make changes that should be changed back, and they're not. So a lot of things happen in 2 years where buildings get out of sync. So this process basically just allows them to re-optimize the building controls the way that they were designed.
My name is Mitchell Gleason. I work with Energy Sciences as an energy consultant, and we recently were able to do a project with Thomas Duke at the Liberty Center, both 50 and 100 buildings. And that's how we came to know them. We work with KODE Labs on a regular basis, and KODE Labs got us connected with Thomas Duke, said that they had a building that looked like it had a lot of potential for energy savings. So we took a look and did a pre-qualification on it and came to the same conclusion that this building was ripe for opportunity. So with Thomas Duke, we decided to take a shorter track due to how much energy they actually consume during the year. So we did something what we call the find and fix, where we come on site, we find it, and then we fix it and implement it right on site. So with Thomas Duke's facilities, most buildings we'll talk about in general have issues. You have individuals who are focused on what's going on inside of the building, generating money, as opposed to worrying about what's going on with the facility. We call it acoustical tuning. So if nobody's saying anything, then everybody's happy, but that's typically not the case. Energy tends to be pushed to the background because it's a secondary thought. So being able to come in and actually find these items for customers who don't necessarily have the time to focus on that is one of the benefits from this program. So with the Liberty Center, we were able to come in, take a look, and while we were on site, we found 3 particular measures that made sense to implement, one of them being scheduling. So we found that the units were running more than they needed to. So even when individuals weren't in the building, the HVAC equipment was running. So we were able to schedule that back, shut it off, and then take advantage of a night setback temperature, which allowed us to have energy savings. And also keep in mind that we're maintaining what customer comfort is in the facility. So the changes we implemented, no customer even saw any of those changes affect their work life. The second one was economizer set point, which allowed us to bring in outdoor air cooling as opposed to using mechanical cooling through the chiller system that they have here. That had a significant amount of savings for them as well. And then the largest measure we had was something called a discharge air temperature reset. So depending on what temperature it is outdoors, you can take advantage of tempering or changing what set point you have that air entering the building as. So you're not using as much heating or cooling through that process. And so overall, we were able to save them with those 3 implementations about 610,000 kilowatt hours a year. There were several measures that we identified that could be implemented once they got to the point where the equipment was able to do so. So Thomas Duke is in the process of upgrading their equipment as it fails, as it needs to be fixed. And once they get to a certain threshold, there's several other measures that we're able to take advantage of. On top of that, through the incentives that they gained from going through this retro-commissioning process, they were able to bank some of those savings, which they can then implement other savings measures with the local utilities programs.
The other thing with the retro-commissioning, and as I understood the genus of retro-commissioning, isn't just that building owners or operators are being wasteful or aren't paying attention. There are still things that will stray. If you have the best building in the world, brand new construction, and it's got all top-of-the-line stuff in it, it's not going to be perfect forever. You still want to look at things, and you want to check your own work. You want to make sure that whether belts aren't getting loose or who knows what's happening, that buildings do slowly change. If we have interior changes, let's say we have an office that's an open floor plan and low cubicles, and then a different user goes in there and they want chopped up small offices. That's going to affect how the building runs. If we add more windows, if we add a canopy, there are changes that can happen to a building, even very subtle ones that can magnify over the years. The retro-commissioning program is aware of that.
My name is Michael Kovalcik. I'm working at a company called KODE Labs. I've been on the operations team for the last 3 years. We are a smart building technology platform that functions as a single pane of glass for real estate operators to break down silos that exist within the building. So pull information from HVAC, access control, camera systems, lighting, and not only bring that together into one operational platform where all the data can be used, but to be an operating system where data can be exchanged between 2 systems to more efficiently optimize the building. From the very beginning, we saw the Thomas Duke team was focused on tenant experience, on energy efficiency in the building. And so when we implemented our solution, we specifically designed and set up ways to extract insights, raise awareness to opportunities to optimize. Having worked with DTE, utility providers on energy efficiency projects in the past, we soon saw some opportunities to perform similar optimizations here at the Thomas Duke portfolio. One of the most exciting aspects of working together in retro-commissioning projects is it really resets the baseline for a building's operation, which naturally tends to stray over time because HVAC and building operations is how it goes. And so when we come in and we reset it, it's good data in, good data out type of mentality. So now going into the next few months, few years, we have a very solid foundation for baseline operation that then allows us to pull in data from the parking system, from the access control system, camera feeds, air quality, and start to really focus on what is it that we can do to enhance the tenant experience, to improve the overall operations, and also, provide Thomas Duke, the management team, as much information as they can on the tenants within the building and what's happening within the space.
And you're actually able to apply for it every 2 years. So we do plan on trying this again in 2 years. Even if we've got the lowest hanging fruit, we want to keep optimizing. We want to run a tight ship and see what else we can do. There's absolutely no reason why we wouldn't want to do this program at other buildings. It took zero work on our effort. Our vendors of KODE, Energy Sciences, and Decal handled everything for us. Every other building that we have that we can qualify for either the retro commissioning program, I believe they have an express retro commissioning program, and also a VCX, a virtual commissioning program. We are going to try and run every asset that we can through there, as well as approach some of our third-party property owners and prospective property owners that we've been discussing property management with on how we can bring them to the light and show them that there are these programs where utility is helping cover the cost and even rewarding us for not being wasteful with our energy.